Troy, and we're here with Joey Villasenior. Did I say your last name right?
Yes, sir.
I've heard a lot of people murder that. Villasenior.
Villasenior, yep. It's been butchered a lot, but I'm used to it, you know.
Smoking Joey Villasenior, right? Where
Yes,
did that
sir.
ever come
Smoking
about
Joe.
from?
Greg Jackson. You know, Greg Jackson started calling me Smoking ever since I started training with him, just because I've been known for my left hook, you know, and my head movement, and he said you know, it kind of reminded him of the old Smoking Joe style, so,
Okay.
you know, name being Joey, it just kind of stuck, you know.
When was your first fight?
Shoot, I believe it was back in 97 or 98. I can't exactly give an exact date, you know, it's ancient history. It was just put done and put back there in the memory banks, but I can't really give you an exact date though.
So that puts you being in the business for about 10 years, fighting professionally.
Yeah, over 10 years fighting professionally, you know, recognized as a MMA veteran, you know, but you know, it's just been around a long time. I think that I've been fighting the longest here in New Mexico, and you know, I enjoy having that title.
Right on it. So your first fight, you were telling me, was for Chris Cordero. Where was it? Farmington?
It was in Durango, Colorado, and ironically enough, Floyd Sword, my teammate out of Farmington, he had his debut that night, and so did my other teammate, who would eventually become teammates, Nate Marquardt. Nate Marquardt was like 16 years old, and that was his debut, so it was ironic that we all ended up on that same card together. You know?
Right, in the big whirlwind vortex of life, you guys all were on that same card. Were you training with Jacksons at the time that you took that first fight?
No, I was training in Farmington with Floyd Sword out of Team Four Corners. Me and him, he put the financial backing behind the school, and you know, I was an assistant coach to him, and we started off in Aztec at Master Cavacca's gym, and then we ended up going our own way, you know, and creating Team Four Corners, you know. So it was cool, man. But that's where I started my career, was in Farmington with Floyd, and then a few years later I started cross training here with Greg Jackson, and the rest is history.
How did you then advance on to King of the Cage and becoming their champion?
Well, when we first started fighting, we were from the little town out of Farmington, New Mexico. Albuquerque hadn't even built up a name for a fighting state, or New Mexico hadn't built up a name for being the premier fighting destination. So we were, you know, the big schools were out of California, New York, and Florida, and basically we were chopped liver, man. We were supposed to go out there, and we were supposed to be meat, you know. We were supposed to be the guys that get beat, you know, but that just wasn't going to happen, you know. It took a lot of time and effort, but we finally earned our respect, you know, and you know, it was a progression, but you know, in King of the Cage, I honestly felt, you know, for until I was champion, that you know, I was supposed to go in those fights and lose, and that's just the mentality I took it, you know, and I ended up cleaning house over there, and being 5-time champ or something like that, and you know, just getting a big break to go into Japan, and the rest is history, you know.
How many fights did you fight for Pride?
I had 2 fights in Pride, and I had fought in their first Grand Prix, their middleweight tournament, and I fought Ryo Chonin. I felt like I won that fight, but unfortunately enough, I was in Japan, and I went to the scorecards, and you know, they gave him the split decision win. You know, and that's just the way the sport happens. Sometimes things happen. I was a little sour at the time, but I tell people, just watch the fight and you judge for yourself, you know. Right.
No, I've heard of a lot of people. I mean, you pretty much have to rip another guy's head off in Japan to win by decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd never signed an extensive contract with Pride. Pride, they just kept me for one fight at a time, kind of boom, boom, and then Elite bounced up, and instead of going to the UFC, we decided to go to Elite, you know, Showtime and CBS contract and exposure, and actually a better pay than what the UFC was offering me at the time. So that's the reason why I went that route, you know, and you know, unfortunately enough, that company didn't make it, and I found myself in an unfortunate situation.